high-performing, educated, and capable, but unprepared. Maybe it's too late for biological limits of time. Infertility is not just a medical issue. It is a civilization sign that it forces us to confront, to be ready, to be prepared and raise the hand for the ones that we want to become a conscious parenthood. What do we truly value? What are we willing to sacrifice? What legacy do we intend to leave for the next generation? And here is where conscious creation becomes essential. Not romantic, not naive, not ideological. It is consciously, because forming a family today requires intention. I have this mural in my back and I'm kind of like sneaking in, but it's a public hospital with a mural of Diego Rivera in 1953. So in front of that, with conscious creation towards health, and after talking with my patients and what we want to build, hearing conscious creation about health, about reproduction, about helping people to bring more humans to this world, because the future of humanity will never be irrelevant to our own. We speak often about security, about technology, about artificial intelligence, about going to Mars, about geopolitical competition right now with Iran, Europe, probably will come China somehow. But before we talk about what we are defending, we must ask a more fundamental question. What are we building? Armies do not fight for abstraction. Economies do not grow for abstraction. Civilization do not endure for abstractions. They endure for people, for families, the nucleus of the society, for children, for continuity of values, of history. And if we are honest, the greatest threat facing the West today is demographic. It is existential crisis. It is the silent erosion of the family nucleus, the world between men and women to create families. Europe gave the world the rule of law, universities, the scientific revolution, art, architecture, philosophy. America expand those ideas. We build institutions, we defend liberty, we innovate at scale. But none of that was possible without one fundamental structure. Stable families willing to bring children into the world. No civilization will survive without birth, without new brains, new souls into this world. Not economy sustains itself without generational renewal. Not culture will survive with lost values that will transmit and evolve generation to the next generation. Epigenetics itself without mothers and fathers from a country, biological or intentional, who choose responsibility over comfort. Today we face a paradox. We are more technologically advanced than ever before. We can edit genes, create artificial intelligence, and create these formulas that we haven't invented and how our proteins will look like. We have planned missions to Mars, but we are struggling to create the most basic unit of society, a healthy and stable family. Fertility rates across the Western are collapsing. Marriage is delayed and 50% chances of no survival. Parenthood is postponed, and when biology collides with time, many wake up too late. It is not a moral panic. It is a mathematics. It's just numbers. A civilization that does not reproduce will be replaced economically, culturally, demographically, and decline is not inevitable. It is a choice. It is a choice for you to create a family. And this message want to bring and put this choice on the table without being too late, without facing infertility. Reindustrialization matters. Technological sovereignty matters. Border sovereignty matters. But none of it matters if we do not have children to inherit what we are building in our countries, in our society, in our epigenetics. What good is AI innovation if there is no next generation to steward it? What good is if space exploration if there is no human lineage to carry forward our values? The family is not a nostalgic symbol. It is a strategic infrastructure. It is the original social technology. In my work with the couples facing infertility, I see something profound. Behind all these statistics are real people. High-performing, educated, and capable, but unprepared. Maybe it's too late for biological limits of time. Infertility is not just a medical issue. It is a civilization sign that it forces us to confront, to be ready, to be prepared and raise the hand for the ones that we want to become a conscious parenthood? What do we truly value? What are we willing to sacrifice? What legacy do we intend to leave for the next generation? And here is where conscious creation becomes essential. Not romantic, not naive, not ideological. It is consciously, because forming a family today requires intention, medical, science, legal structure, ethical oversight. Physiological preparation requires courage, mindset, ability, and strength to keep raising our tribe. Our ancestors rebuilt the civilizations after the wars and defeated totalitarianism, expand prosperity. They refuse decline. Now we face quieter challenge, not ruins, but emptiness, not bombs maybe, but birth rate collapsing. The response must be equally bold. We must restore confidence in the future, not through the slogans, but through policy, culture, and support. All these systems that makes family formation viable. We need to survive here or in Mars. That includes responsive, reproductive technologies. Obviously, this is happening, and we are working towards an ethical surrogacy frameworks where cultures align with parenthood, economics models that reward generation continuity. Because if we want to terraform Mars, this narrative that sees children not burdens but a strategy assets for civilization. We should not be ashamed of wanting families. We should not apologize for defending our cultural continuity. For those flat planet ones that their opinion will say that we are maybe too many. We should not outsource the future of our lineage to chances. The alliance we need today is not only military, it is generational. An alliance that understands that innovation without reproduction, it's hollow. Wealth without more babies, it won't work. Power without continuity, it's illusion. Without new members in the society, there will be no countries. And for centuries, the Western expand outward, exploration, discovery, industry. Now the expansion we need is inward, into responsibility, into intentional parenthood, into long term, because the only shame worth fearing in the coming future is this: to inherit the greatest civilization in history. In 2026, we need to start thinking for our future and fail to pass it forward, because if we cannot do it today, the future is inevitable. But who inhabits it? Who shapes it? Who will carry our values with it? That depends on whether we choose to build families consciously, because civilization does not collapse in a single dramatic moment. It won't happen like that. It will fade when we stop creating life, when we let the things pass by and without any responsibility and accountability. And it rains when we decide to become good ancestors. We need to bring more brains, more souls to this world if we wanted to survive, not just in Earth. If we can become a multiplanetary species, and what we owe to the future, it's right now. And the message is just keep creating families to bring to this world. We need to become more humans, and fertility rates are declining. That's why conscious conception and conscious creation is working towards bring more humans and more souls and more brains that will create those formulas that probably we haven't seen and we haven't created, and those songs, those murals that no AI will replace it. That's why we need to bring and be more humans. Thank you.